This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, lab workers are feeling the strain as demand continues to grow for COVID-19 testing. A Wanaka man has been running around in giant circles, raising funds for a good cause. And there's something new underfoot at the Gore AMP showgrounds to help the horses. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, good evening, I'm Dave Gooselink. As the number of people with COVID-19 or at risk via a close contact grows rapidly, those doing the testing and checking results are flat out. The Dunedin-based president of the New Zealand Institute of Medical Laboratory Science is imploring people to only get tested if they really need to.
There were 455 new cases of COVID-19 reported in the southern region today, with nearly 4,000 new cases across Aotearoa. Those increasing case numbers are due to the Omicron wave and are making for testing times for those processing COVID tests.
It's not easy, and you do wear your heart on your sleeve in these sort of roles. This is laboratory scientists, this has been our calling during the whole pandemic. And up until now, it's fair to say that's been probably one of the shining examples of our national response.
Dunedin-based New Zealand Institute of Medical Laboratory Science President Terry Taylor says testing facilities across New Zealand are very close to capacity, with staff facing more samples to process each day. The queues of people on foot or in cars for drive-through testing have increased dramatically this week at the North Dunedin testing facility.
These public health medical professionals over the road here are working their butts off, so come on, let's just try and calm it down a bit.
There's uncertainty around the changes in testing recommendations since the move to Phase 2, with some confusion around the requirements for close contacts, household contacts and isolation periods. But Taylor says, please get tested if you need to.
And there's a process that everyone's being triaged, as you won't be able to see, but that's what's happening at the moment to try and mitigate just the sheer numbers of people and samples that are coming into our diagnostic laboratories.
A Dunedin laboratory worker recently tested positive for Omicron, and Taylor says this worker won't be the last.
That's going to be the first of many around the country, so we're no different than any other workplace. We're going to get affected the same. Of course, that's going to affect other services that we provide because we've only got a finite number of staff.
He says lab workers across the country aren't immune and are feeling the pinch too, as the Omicron wave continues to rise toward a forecast peak around late March. In Dunedin, The South Today.
A Dunedin driver escaped uninjured yesterday night after crashing their car into a house in the suburb of Roslyn. Police were notified of the incident in Garfield Avenue shortly before 5:30 yesterday evening. The driver of the car that crashed into the house was uninjured, but a power pole was badly damaged in the accident. Fire and Emergency New Zealand say crews from the Dunedin and Willowbank fire stations were dispatched to the scene. A second vehicle was also involved in the crash, but the occupants of both were able to free themselves from their damaged vehicles without assistance. Wanaka man Ben Sunson has more challenges than most after suffering a life-changing head injury in 1999. However, he's determined to put his best foot forward and is setting aside a whole day to do it.
Wanaka's Ben Sunchen is a keen athlete and has been putting those skills to work with a 12-hour charity walking challenge around Pembroke Park.
The lady said to me, I'm not giving any money in that to brain injury because that comes under mental health and it doesn't happen in Wanaka. And just walked away and I thought, no, it doesn't happen in Wanaka, but it happens to someone in your family, you know. And until something like that happens, you're not aware of it, you know.
Sunchen tackled the 1 kilometre loop circuit on Tuesday with the aim of raising money for the Otago Brain Injury Association. It's his chosen charity after suffering a life-changing head injury in 1999, caused by medical misadventure during surgery. He started reporting stroke-like symptoms and had a consultation with a brain surgeon.
They said, oh, we can operate, but we'd have to go into your head. It's a serious operation. It's funny because the surgeon who did it said to me, and he was like, I was young back there still, and he said to me, well, it has complications, you know. You could lose your sight, you could lose your balance, you go deaf and all this. I went, yep.
Sunchin is a regular volunteer at Challenge Wanaka, Relay for Life and other community activities. His efforts around Pembroke Park were supported by Brain Injury Association Liaison Officer Kathy Matthews and manager Jane Butterfield.
This is something he personally set himself a goal to do, and he's managing to raise some awareness around brain injury as well. But you know, he's going to get this goal, and he's already pushing us for another one. So
I just think he's got the most amazing outlook about life and sets challenges, and nothing holds him back, which is really inspiring to other people who are involved with the Brain Injury Association as well.
Sunchin enjoyed and endured walking in a big circle for many hours, but is setting his sights higher for his next challenge.
Wouldn't climb up Mount Iron, I think. Mount Iron or Mount Roy. That's my next goal.
His physiotherapist Brett Jenkins, friend Rob Luke and Queenstown Lakes Deputy Mayor Callum McLeod, along with other Lions Club members, also supported his charity effort, walking part of the half-day journey with him. In Wanaka, the South Today.
Young school children from Oamaru got the chance to compete against each other last weekend in the dignified sport of lawn tennis. The North Otago Tennis Town versus Country competition was put on especially for junior children. The event was held at the Chalmer Street grass courts on Saturday. About 20 players were involved, with 6 boys and 4 girls competing in each of the town and country heats. Town won the boys competition 6 games to 3 and then went on to also win the girls competition 6 games to 0. The all-weather arena at the Gore AMP Showgrounds is benefiting from a new rubber surface installed recently. The new surface, called Treadlight, is ideal for equestrian events and is tipped to bring more horse riding events to the town.
A significant improvement. Contractor Lockie Hutton is busy volunteering his time and machinery to complete the resurfacing of the all-weather arena at the Gore A&P Showgrounds. The project is replacing the old hard, glary lime and sand surface with a new one made out of rubber from recycled tyres. Half the 11,000 square metre arena was covered with the new surface last October, and Trust Chairwoman Marlene Parkinson's pleased with how it's performed.
The feedback that we've had throughout the competition season has been really positive. It's giving more spring for the horses. They're feeling secure, it's cushioning their joints, and it's minimising the dust and taking the glare out, so it's just been a win-win.
The new surface, called Treadlight, is the same one used at major equestrian centres in Taupo and Christchurch. The upgrade cost $45,000, but is expected to bring many more horse riding events to Gore.
So now people know Gore is a great place to come and visit because it's got all the facilities for horses, and now we've added a quality all-weather surface.
The work was partially funded by the Mataura Licensing Trust and Community Trust South, and the investment is already paying off given the success of covering the first half of the arena last year.
Every weekend in January and midweek there was an event of some sort happening on the surface, so yeah.
The new Treadlight surface is expected to need minimal maintenance and has shock-absorbing benefits, which means a safer and more secure surface for horses to work on. In Gore, the South Today.
FI Akine still to come on the South Today. Mortgage interest rate rises could be in store for homeowners, and a deaf and blind Christchurch artist gets a new creative studio.
We're a concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including interlocks.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Alert, alert, sale closure, imminent, sale closure, imminent.
My mate John's massive annual sale must end soon. The big one. John slashed a whopping 20 to 80% off his entire range of rock bottom warehouse price furniture and beds. His low prices are even lower, but not for long. Shop in store or online with click and collect or contact free delivery. The big one.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
Every day the team at Gillian's supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Welcome back. The Reserve Bank has lifted the official cash rate by 25 basis points to 1%. And in his first monetary policy statement for the year, Reserve Bank Governor Adrian Orr indicates further rate rises are coming. That rate rise is likely to translate to an extra 0.25% on many mortgage rates over the coming month. Orr says further removal of monetary policy stimulus is expected over time, given the medium-term outlook for growth and improvement. The central bank is now predicting the official cash rate to peak at about 3% by 2023. In its November statement last year, it forecast a peak of 2.5%. Despite COVID conditions, competitions for young farmers and even younger rural folk have been held in Canterbury. The Young Farmers of the Year regional competition was held alongside the Agri-Kids Rural Skills event. A member of the Waimakariri Young Farmers Club was the sole Canterbury representative in the prestigious competition held in Springston. Entries were up by 30 on last year, despite the COVID-19 red setting, with all competitors being tested across a range of activities. North Canterbury's skilled children once again showed that the future of the rural sector is safe in their hands. Oxford Area School and North Lowburn School teams placed first and second in the Tasman Region Agri-Kids New Zealand competition. That saw teams of school-age competitors taking part in a host of rural games and activities. The Christchurch New Brighton community has rallied around deaf and blind artist Donald Gibson to help him build a new art studio. He was forced to move out of his old one last year, with his new studio now just weeks away from completion.
Donald Gibson has been sculpting clay and stone artworks for 27 years. The well-known artist and sculptor has no hearing or sight, creating his artworks totally by touch. Gibson was looking for a place to do his work after his old studio at the former New Brighton School was demolished last year. His carer approached the New Brighton Community Gardens, who successfully applied for a $15,000 grant from Lotto to fund the Kitset Cabin project. And Donald's looking forward to being able to move in.
Yeah, so Donald's pretty happy. It's going to be really amazing working here for him.
The artist has a genetic disorder called Usher's syndrome and was born profoundly deaf. His eyesight has deteriorated progressively since birth until he lost his sight altogether.
A lot of the things he makes now is from his memories from the past.
New Brighton Community Gardens manager Lynn Klenner has been overwhelmed with the voluntary help they've received from the community and companies like CityCare.
So this is stage 3, kind of what we call Project Donald.
She says he was a good fit for the community garden as they cater for all sorts of people with disabilities.
We try to inspire people by having Donald here. He's just so happy doing what he does, and it can just remind us all to just live, every day.
The community garden is set to host an open house in mid-March to thank everybody who's been involved in the process of constructing the studio cabin. In New Brighton, the South Today.
FIRKNA still to come on the South Today. The Highlanders prepare to come home for their next game, albeit without the crowds, and the warm weather's set to continue across the South.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
alert, sale closure, imminent, sale closure, imminent.
My mate John's massive annual sale must end soon. The big one. 20 to 80% off his entire range.
And my mate John.
Welcome back. The Highlanders have tweaked their backline ahead of Friday's Super Rugby Pacific match against the Crusaders in Dunedin. Connor Garden-Bachop is set to get his first game of the season, starting at fullback, with Sam Gilbert moving to the right wing. Powerful midfielder Thomas Umanga Jensen will start at second five, ahead of Scott Gregory. The Highlanders lost their opening match of the season to the Chiefs in Queenstown. This Friday's game will be played on home turf under the roof at Forsyth Bar Stadium. But there will be no crowds due to COVID-19, creating a very different atmosphere for an Orientation Week game. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Lab workers are feeling the strain as demand continues to grow for COVID-19 testing, with reminders to only get tested if you have symptoms. A Wanaka man has been running around in giant circles with a crew supporting Ben Sunson as he raised money for the Brain Injury Association. And there's something new underfoot at Gore's AMP Showgrounds. A rubber surface has been installed which could help bring more horse riding events to the town. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Editor Barry Stewart.
Hello, Dave. Of course, COVID is the big topic of interest all round, and we've got some interesting numbers coming out now, and it indicates that COVID is raging in Dunedin. 1 in 5 people test positive for it in Dunedin, so that's a pretty sure sign that things are moving rapidly. So, following from that, we visit a student who is isolating in Unipol.
Unicole?
Unicole?
That's the one.
Unicole.
Not
correct.
the gym, yeah.
Yeah, or she might be at the gym, who knows. Anyway, she's isolating and she's sharing her story about that. So interesting insight into what life is like in isolation in that environment. So we also have a lovely story from Queenstown about a group of preschoolers who have recreated a traditional Maori raft, and they have sailed it down the Arrow River, much the turning heads in Arrowtown, so that's pretty impressive. And I need to tell you about our editorial tomorrow on probably the most read page in the paper and interesting page. We challenge the inaccurate public reporting of COVID numbers, so have a look out for that. We have a wee look in sport about cricket second test starting on Friday. Can Matt Henry do it again? So we have a wee look at that situation.
You'd have a great game. Yeah, thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
And now it's time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with a southern view taken of a sunny start to the day in Dunedin. Looking at the situation, a warmer day is set for most tomorrow as a northerly airflow is accompanied by sunshine, but the usual northeasterly winds along the Otago coast could be rather strong in the afternoon. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns, Catlins can expect moderate northeasterlies with clear skies and a high of 18 degrees. It'll also be fine inland at Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore with light northerlies and highs of 21 to 22 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, it'll be fine with light northerlies for Queenstown, Alexandra and Wanaka, with warm temperatures around 25 or 26 degrees. Cooler but still fine in Te Anau with light northerlies and a high of 20 degrees there. Looking at the northern towns, along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru are in for fine weather with fresh northeasterlies, 21 degrees in Timaru and marginally cooler in Oamaru with 19. It'll be warm further inland. Twizel and Omarama both expecting clear skies with light northerlies and a high of 25 degrees. In Dunedin, there'll be some cloud tonight with northeasterlies and an overnight low of 11. Expect low cloud at first tomorrow, which will start breaking with sunny periods increasing during the day. Fresh, breezy northeast winds could be strong in the mid-afternoon, a high of 18 degrees. And it'll be mild and mostly fine on Friday with a high of 20 and a low of 14 degrees. And down in Invercargill, it'll be cold with clear skies tonight and chilly overnight low of just 7 degrees. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow with some high cloud developing later on. Mild northerly winds developing, a high of 21 and a low of 10. And on Friday, northwesterlies will start freshening with cloud increasing during the day, some rain at night, a high of 22 and a low of 14 degrees. And that's the news for this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Hei doa, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.